Hello, we are back with the Birthing Soul app, sharing wisdom from our very own app contributors. And today we are here with Patricia, who is our app perinatal yoga instructor and has shared so many beautiful exercises through the Birthing Soul app to support both pregnancy and postpartum. So, welcome, Patricia. Would you share a little bit about you?
Hi, Britta. Thanks for having me. And as you know, I'm super excited about being a part of this app and contributing. So I have been a yoga teacher now for 6 going on 7 years, and I have luckily been able to be teaching perinatal, so pre and postpartum yoga throughout that time that I have been involved in yoga. And working with mothers and birthing bodies in general is super important to me because, mothers provide everything we have, everyone we see, all comes from a mom, and really making sure that there's extra support for bodies and mental health and all of that through yoga, through wellness and breath work and meditation and all the things I do is super important to me. So I'm very excited to be a part of this whole process.
Amazing. Yeah, it's true. Mothers are kind of our source point. That's why we're here. I'd love for you to share more about your philosophy around yoga, why it feels so important to offer these types of embodiment tools and practices. I know yoga is this ancient practice, but share a little bit about what is it for you that you believe moms need to know about yoga practice in the perinatal time?
Well, I feel like yoga can be kind of intimidating. And I think pregnancy and being a birthing body can be kind of intimidating as well. And so providing yoga in the perinatal space, both pre and postpartum, is something that I want to do to be inclusionary because I know it's a scary time for a lot of women to be going through they're changing bodies and both pre and postpartum and all of that. And so creating a space where people feel welcome, where they feel comfortable, where they start learning how their body is changing, moving with that changing body, and being able to accept that and create space for it. And above all, through all of this, is kindness is really the most important thing for me. I think, again, people really struggle with embodiment and being in their body through pregnancy and postpartum. So providing a space that's kind, welcoming, and allows any woman going through pregnancy and early parenthood should deserve a kind and loving space where they can feel comfortable, where they can move, and they can be fully in their body. And that's one thing that is the main reason why perinatal yoga is important to me. It's just such an important time, and there's not a lot of spaces where women have completely dedicated to just being comfortable and being present in their body during pregnancy.
Would you share a little bit around just kind of what parts of the body are you focusing on, and what might that signal for a woman when she's pregnant or postpartum?
So, a big thing is our whole middle, our whole everything is changing. Our hips are getting wider, our belly is growing. We feel so much more weight, a lot of discomfort in our low back, a lot. And once we start breastfeeding, there's all the leaning forward in our upper back. And so, really focusing on these parts of the body that are growing and changing and will be modified during pregnancy and postpartum according to what our body is doing without us, and then what we have to do with our body once we have the baby. And so I think a lot of times people think, oh, pregnancy, opening space, creating, but it's also once you're postpartum and you're holding the baby all the time, you're really locked in and you're really into this kind of arching thing. So, really taking space back in the body once baby is here and has arrived, and making sure that mom still gets to feel her own body. Because that's a big thing. Like everyone thinks, oh, well, the baby's out, right? And it's like, no, the baby is still very much attached to me. And I still don't have that much space for myself and my body. So, really making sure that in postpartum yoga, that we're really doing opening and feeling comfortable and getting strength back and feeling more back to our own body and our own thing. And again, that's in the hips, the shoulders, everything that allows us to be big and stand tall and feel bright and shiny in our own body.
Mm. I love that. It's so true. Just kind of like feeling into that space and how it's shifted and transformed during pregnancy, but also in postpartum is just such a physical time. Like it's such an embodied experience to for sure nurse your baby and also go through the healing postpartum. But just carrying things, lifting up your baby, your toddler as they grow, it definitely changes the way we move in our body. So that's really powerful, and I feel like it's nice to just give moms that space to maybe set that aside for a moment and just feel into it and feel what is coming up. What do you notice happen with mothers, like, on a more emotional, intuitive level as they're engaging with a yoga practice?
I think the main thing I notice is a lot of mothers don't realize or see how much of themselves that they've given away to both their pregnancy and to their baby. And so in a yoga practice, and again, especially in postpartum and even prenatal, women are really able to be like, I still get to be myself. This
Mm,
is still my body. I still get to have this experience and I get to learn how to love this body. And I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed is the disconnect of what pregnancy does to your body and what postpartum does to your body and being a birthing human. And I think being able to reconnect and reclaim that space for mothers themselves and see kind of the emotional waves through it all. And just the ability I've seen for so many women to also be able to hold themselves again through having more guidance and know that that's okay. And so it's pretty amazing to see the kind of transformative power of that, of just like, it's okay for me to take space for myself. It's okay for me to be there for myself. It's okay for me to be mad at my changing body, to love my changing body for whatever it is that I'm experiencing. And yeah, giving that permission and watching that kind of change how moms move through yoga and move through their day has been honestly very rewarding part of it. And yeah, the very emotional part of it as well.
yeah, it's so powerful for sure to hear that reflection because I feel like there are so many varying emotions that come up, and not very much space to feel and process them, And what I understand therapeutically is like when we don't move and process and access this part of the body where the emotion is being stored, then it creates bigger problems. It creates more pain in the body, more emotional symptoms, anxiety and depression and things like that. And so having these pathways like yoga, I feel like are just so valuable to create both a baseline and a foundation of understanding your body and then grow and evolve into kind of that new way of being in your body as a mother. I'm curious what you had mentioned you feel that yoga can be a little bit intimidating. Would you say a little bit more about that and what you feel is most important for mothers to think about when seeking out a yoga practice and what to be looking for and what might be most valuable for a mom?
Yeah, so I think it's intimidating. It's like from both angles. Let's say you've never done yoga before, and now you have this changing, growing body. That's scary to try to do this thing for the first time. Let's say you have a yoga practice that you've been doing for 10, 15 years, but now you have this growing, changing body, and you have to learn how to move with it. So it can be a very scary thing. And yeah, I think the best term for it is intimidating to kind of enter in that space. And so I think one thing that I've been so grateful for is most pre and postnatal teachers that I've met, they're all about creating space and being inclusionary and making sure that people are comfortable. So the main thing is when you walk into a space where you're going to do a prenatal or postnatal practice, does that space feel good to you? And maybe trying to just go there and introduce yourself first, especially if it's your first pregnancy. or if it's your first time going into a space like that, go introduce yourself, maybe ask if you can meet a teacher or see what the pre or postnatal philosophy is in teaching and see if that connects with you because it really is you're going to get the best benefit out of the practice the more comfortable you feel. So finding a space, knowing what it's going to be like as you enter that space. There's also a lot of private teachers out there that are happy to come into your home. Considering that too is an option for you. What's going to make me the most comfortable? Allowing yourself time and space to make sure that you can fulfill that, whether that be visiting or talking to a teacher beforehand, and then really allowing yourself to be held, which I think is the most vulnerable part of it, and trust that experience. Because the more that you kind of allow yourself to be vulnerable in the experience of yoga and working with a perinatal teacher, the more you're going to get out of it, the more you're going to get that embodiment that we were talking about and that release of emotions and holding on to things in the body.
Yeah, that's powerful. The being held. I mean, it is really powerful, and I know it is so challenging as a new mother to get out and seek out these new experiences when already it feels like everything in your life is so new, which is why we really want to offer this. People can do it at home, but also hope that they will reach into their communities at some point if this is the practice that really nourishes them, that they will seek out those teachers and those connections that resonate most with them over time. And I think that's just so important because mothers do need to be held. And it's such a sensitive time where the body just doesn't feel the same. I mean, for me, I practiced yoga for over a decade, and getting back into it after having my 2 kiddos was really challenging. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't even if I kinda looked more or less similar on the outside, I felt so different on the inside, and that alone was a huge thing to kind of transition through, and so, I really just love that wisdom.
Yeah, and I just think that's one of the things that needs to be talked about more. And one of the reasons I'm really excited about the app and these conversations is I think moms know their body's going to change during pregnancy, but it's also the experience postpartum. And it's even like C-sections, all of that. Your body still is different after your pregnancy, and learning how to move and be in that body will be different post-pregnancy. And allowing space for that and just knowing that like even though it's different, it's not worse, it's not better, it's different and being okay with that and knowing that there will be challenges that arise, but you'll overcome them.
Yeah.
So,
It's so true, and I feel like so much of exercise pressure postpartum is kind of we're marketed this kind of bounce back culture and just getting back into it, whereas I feel that yoga and other embodiment practices can really give you a gentle process to explore and get curious, as opposed to just, yeah, feeling that pressure and overwhelm to just get back to where you were before. And I think a lot of moms come into it and I heard a mom the other day who's saying, I was going to be that woman who was fit during my pregnancy and who was exercising the whole time and bounced straight back and lost all the weight quickly. And then her real experience was that no, she didn't have any energy to do the rigorous exercise she used to during her pregnancy. And in the postpartum, everything shifted mind, body, soul to where that just didn't feel possible or a priority for her. And I kind of think sometimes less is more, when we try to just do it all at once, it's overwhelming to the system. And having a practice like yoga, even just breathing and guided reflections, just getting into the body in that way can be extremely powerful. And I know is a huge cornerstone of yoga practice.
absolutely. And I think, like you mentioned, there's all of this desire to bounce back and have things be the way they were. And that's just not going to happen. Maybe it'll be similar, but it's not going to happen. And allowing space to maybe try new practices like yoga. And one thing I really like about yoga and this kind of, again, embodied practice is it also helps you familiarize yourself with your new body, with your changing body, and noticing what might feel different versus, let's say, another activity, running, for example. I even, my sister-in-law, she had stopped running postpartum and then started a year later, and it feels so different and it's so intense and it's not easy to get into again. It's high impact and you don't really know how your body's going to respond. But if you enter into doing yoga postnatal, and then you can kind of feel, oh, this feels good to my body. I don't have to push myself here. I can do this. And you just, again, start to really learn what is different about my body. Where can I push things more? Where do I need to take a step back a little bit? And giving yourself that grace, I think, is great. And I'm very happy that yoga does that for birthing women.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It seems like kind of guiding women back to their intuition, which is
Exactly.
really exactly what we're all about at the Birthing Soul is giving really practical, actionable things, like actually move and do some yoga, but doing that in a way that really guides you to your intuition, I think is the most valuable thing we can offer moms. So
I absolutely agree, and I'm so glad that we're doing it.
I'm so excited to have your wisdom and your guided both yoga practice, long flows, but also smaller, short flows that moms can do in a short period of times, just step away, even with their baby laying right next to them on the floor or something like that, to just breathe and get into the body for a short period of time and get a little taste of that. So I can't wait for mamas to receive this wisdom. And I know today you're planning to also offer a little taste of that through a grounding meditation.
Yes, so this is a grounding meditation for everyone, but of course, if you're a mama, and it's also going to really help get into your body and just kind of prepare you for whatever you have to do today. Maybe that is walking around and you're in your third trimester and you're feeling really heavy. Maybe you have your little baby and you just need a moment to yourself and you are able to take a second away. And so we can go ahead and start that meditation. So wherever you are, and take a comfortable seat if you can. If you're standing, that's okay too. Just allow yourself to close your eyes and just begin dropping into your breath. Not changing anything here at first. We're just going to feel that flow of inhales and exhale. Notice the rise and fall of the belly and the chest, the shoulders lifting up towards the sky and falling back down to the earth. And on your next inhale, allow yourself to begin deepening the breath, filling yourself all the way up with air as much as you can here. Fill, fill, fill. And match that with the exhale, pressing out every last drop of air. Two more like that. Nice deep inhale. Fill all the way up. Feel those shoulders rise up towards the sky. Exhale, let it go. Last one. Make this the deepest one yet. Fill all the way up. Fill, fill, fill. And exhale, release. Now allow yourself to come back to your own breath pace. And just feeling that flow of inhales and exhales, the coolness of the air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth as it exits the nose. Bring your attention to the earth beneath you. You're sitting, notice the points in which the body is connected to your seat or the ground beneath you. Notice the warmth there, the warmth on your palms, under your palms if they're resting down on the thigh. And allow that seat to fully hold you. And repeat in your mind, I am held by this earth beneath me. And if you're standing, same thing here. Notice the ground underneath your feet. Notice the firmness of that ground, the warmth between the feet and that earth. And feel that it's solid, and again, holding you. And same thing here. I am held here by this earth beneath me. And allow yourself to repeat that a couple more times in your mind. Any other words that come up that you feel connected to, be safe or love or warm. Weave those in as needed. And then whenever you're ready, softly open your eyes and take time returning to your space, taking that mantra with you wherever you go throughout your day.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patricia. I really just am so grateful to have your wisdom and your presence here with the Birthing Soul Mamas, and can't wait to just hear more from you. So
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for moms to have all of these beautiful things that all of these awesome contributors have offered, including yourself. So it's going to be really amazing.
great. Yes. Amazing.